Hello, happy Wednesday and welcome to Spotlight with me, Ruth Medjber. I am still broadcasting from Paris, would you believe? It's cold and wet in January and I've decided to take myself away to Paris for a few weeks, and I am staying in the cultural centre of Ireland, in the heart of Paris. I'm a little bit in love, let me tell you that, but I am missing Irish music. Totally missing Irish music. So I have been keeping up to date with all of the brand new Irish bangers that are coming out week by week. And over the next 2 hours, I have a show stuffed full of genre crossing, age gap spanning, everything you can think of. All different types of music just for you. I've also, very excitedly, got a fantastic interview with one of the residents here in the CCI. Her name is Annie Ryan. She's an exceptional director and actor, and she sat down at the kitchen table and we had a lovely chat about her illustrious career. I want to start off things right. As always, we play exclusively Irish music here, and you know why? Because the island of Ireland is bursting at the seams with bands and musicians who are incredible. One of the bands that I always play here on the show, I saw them play live at an Irish music showcase there a couple of years ago, and I was blown away. I was blown away by their energy and how tight they were as a band. I'm talking about Sprints. I love Sprints. Everyone should love Sprints. Even if it's not your cup of tea, you should just love that a band is out there doing new things and, just doing what they're doing. Here is Sprints with Little Fix.
It's a subtle suffocation, a tiny little fix. They're playing with fire and I'm playing with matchsticks because I'm medicated, and they like me better when I'm sedated. The self-serving sentiment wraps around my legs as I perch off a plank, push myself off the edge. There is no good, there's just bad and worse. A self-sufficient category hugs me like a hearse. You wanna go? Tell me the place you wanna go. Tell me the place you wanna go. Tell me the place you wanna go. You wanna go? Just tell me the place you wanna go. Tell me the place you wanna go. Just tell me the place you wanna go. It's a new hallucination, a new little fix. I say a cog in the machine, they say the cogs don't exist because I'm medicated, and they like me better when I'm sedated. So tell me, doctor, how do you fix a problem they don't seem to think it really exists? So stupid little girl, right back to the car, wearing shades like a shawl and her body like a scar. You wanna go? Tell me the place you wanna go. Just tell me the place you wanna go. Tell me the place you wanna go. You wanna go? Just tell me the place you wanna go.
was the Incredible Sprints with their song Little Fix. Do you like new Irish music? Yes, you do. You are in the right place. This is a jam-packed 2 hours full of brand new Irish music. Now, ordinarily, we would have an arts and culture city guide. This is usually your one-stop shop for all things to see and do in Dublin city and beyond. However, it's January. We're going to take a break. Things are quiet. It's time to reset. Yeah, let's just reprioritize your life. Stay indoors, get cozy, chill for a bit. I'm in Paris. I don't have an events guide for you, but I will next week. Next week we're back where we're supposed to be. Usual schedule, usual programming. But for now, let's just continue on with the brand new Irish music. This is Last Apollo with their song Reservoir.
I stay up late every night with my best friend. He is the one who I tell when I'm sad. I lie awake every night. He's the one who'll accompany me as I run around the reservoir looking for a hedgehog. He'll stay by my side till my lips turn blue. Because I'm anxious till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna be down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. Whoa. Because I'm anxious till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna be down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. I stay up late every night with my best friend and dance in socks to dust-covered albums. I lie awake every night, and as we skim the flight of stones, and I search for the perfect pine cone and wash the dirt right off my dungarees. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Because I'm anxious till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna be down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. Whoa. Because I'm anxious till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna be down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. Tell me when you wanna meet down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. Whoa. Just till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna meet down by the reservoir, by the reservoir. Because I'm anxious till I fall asleep. Tell me when you wanna be down by the reservoir, by the reservoir.
Wow, that's loud, that's noisy. That's When Young with Shame Train. Oh, what a gorgeous little outro as well. You are hearing brand new Irish music because that's all we play here on Dublin City FM Spotlight with me, Ruth Medjber. Every Wednesday from 2 to 4, I collect on my travels, on my massive amounts of hours of research. I troll through the internet and the emails and everything that everyone sends me, and I gather together the best blend of Irish music that represents Ireland right now. That is what you are listening to, and I hope you enjoy it. If you are a recording artist, or you know someone, there's someone in your life that's putting out banging tunes and you're like, they should be on the radio, well, send the songs to me. Spotlight at Dublin City FM is where you will get me. Spotlight at dublincityfm.ie, I should say. Send me some tunes. This is a community radio station. It's built around you. It's built around you and what you love. The places you like to go, the people you like to hang out with. Send us all the stuff. It's all good. Okay, I'm going to shut up and play some new Irish music. This is Lilac. Lilaac. Am I pronouncing that right? I'm going to go with it. Lilac with Purity.
Lucy said, don't feel ashamed. It's a 12-hour trip. Let's do anything and everything. Her words, they make me die inside. But smile, I must stay alive. Just another day in my eyes. As innocent as I thought I was, my crimes dilated from the probable cause of the things that entered my brain. And I know this feeling, it means someone new has come. And you make me feel like I can be someone brand new. Lose yourself and slip away. Everyone here is all the same. Different level in the same game. My thoughts, they make me fall apart. But when back together, I get a fresh start. Back together, I get a fresh start. Back together, a fresh start. And I know this feeling, it means someone new has come. And you make me feel like I can be someone brand new. So come along and join the ride, or hold on tight till we get high. Find the person you wanna hold tonight. You wanna hold tonight. You wanna hold tight. Find the person you wanna hold tonight. You wanna hold tonight. You wanna find the person you wanna hold tight. You're turning into a state of mind. You're turning into a state of mind. You're turning into a state of mind.
That was Purity by Lilac. Lilaac. So, great news in the Irish music scene. David Kitt is back, and he is back with a banger. I love David Kitt so much. I mean, he just brings out some great tunes under his own name of David Kitt, and then New Jackson as well. Anytime you see him on a festival lineup, you know you're in for a good time. Good skin, good soul, great songwriter. I also believe he had a residency here where I'm sitting in the Cultural Centre of Ireland in Paris. I must look into that actually. I feel like David Kitt is roaming the halls of this place as I'm about to press play on this track. I'm going to take 2 in a row from Kitt, sir. I'm going to play one that I particularly love off The Big Romance, because who doesn't love The Big Romance? You know, even the bar that has its namesake down in town, I mean, even that's a beautiful place with great sound. Oh, I'm just in love, just in love. Here is David Kitt, 2 in a row. One oldie, You Know What I Want to Know, and then we're going to go straight into his brand new song called Wishing Well.
Eyes in the morning, better watch your step. There are dangerous maybes, so hard to forget. You know what I wanna know. You know what I want to know. Oh, oh, you know what I wanna know. You know what I want to know. Slow down the water. Let me catch my breath. There's warmth in the fire, and the sweet smell sweat. You know what I wanna know. You know what I want to know. Oh, oh, you know what I wanna know. You know what I want to know. Ice in the water, better watch your step. There are dangerous maybes, so hard to forget. You know what I wanna know. You know what I want to know. Oh, oh, you know what I wanna know. Oh, you know what I want to know. Oh, you know what I wanna know. Oh, you know what I want to know. Oh, you know what I wanna know. Oh, you know what I want to know. No, 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 no. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
One 103.2 Dublin City FM.
today, like every day we run high. We're running from a loss, an effigy hologram. Go blame it on your wishing well above. Go blame it on your wishing well. Go blame it on your wishing well. Go blame it on your wishing well above. St. Francis on the road, St. Brennan on the rough sea. Madonna on my back, St. Tony for my house keys. Luigi when I'm lost, St. Rita when I'm lonely. Go blame it on your wishing well above. Go blame it on your wishing well. Go blame it on your wishing well. Go blame it on your wishing well above.
That was the brand new track from David Kidd, which I think you can all just agree is a true return to form. Not that he ever lost his magic, to be honest. Oh, okay, let's keep it Irish, keep it lit. This is an artist I have come across on a playlist. I don't know much about them. Their name is Abe Soare, Soare, and this is their track, Oasis.
Take me to the beach, run my hands along the sand, be my referee, tell me I will understand. Been a cold dark night in the desert storm. We're all weary once till we know it's strong. So come on, give me the answers I am searching for. Slap me in the face, steal the layers, let me drink from the oasis. Give me the answers I am searching for. Slap me in the face, steal the layers, let me drink from the oasis. La da da da, let me drink from the oasis. La da da da, let me drink from the oasis. Do you have a map? 'Cause I lost sight of the stars, more realities. Won't you guide me back to love? Been a cold dark night in the desert storm. We're all weary once
God, you're on form tonight. Finish your pint. Make a meal of it. You act so pretentious. They can't wait for you to finish. But right now you love this. But tomorrow you feel foolish, embarrassed and hopeless. Tell everyone you didn't mean it. If you thought you were having fun, how could it be so wrong? Gonna be the last to leave the party. Make the host wish she never invited you. Gonna be the last to leave the party. Act like you own every room. Oh, come on, I can't sleep. Why don't you just stay awake with me? Hey, me. Your monologue drags in the kitchen. It's not just your drink you're spilling. To anybody who will listen, at least you come out swinging. Watch as they avert their eyes. They're not even surprised. You're like this every other weekend. So of course you'll do it again. You'll do it again. If you thought you were having fun, how could it be so wrong? Gonna be the last to leave the party. Make the host wish she never invited you. Gonna be the last to leave the party. Act like you own every room. Oh, come on, I can't sleep. Why don't you just stay awake with me? Hey, me. Come on, hey, me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Doesn't have to feel broken. Just knock back another one. Doesn't have to feel broken. Just knock back another one. And 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 another one. Gonna be the last to leave the party. Make the host wish she'd never met you. Gonna be the last to leave the party. All alone in the living room. Oh, what is there left to lose? Those four walls closing in on you.
That was our very own superstar Alva Reddy with her brand new Irish track. That was called Last to Leave. It's off her forthcoming album, which will be out in March this year. And we are so excited for it. Onwards, upwards, and to our next band. This is Driven Snow with Flickers of You.
She is silver, I am tin, caramelized and always been. She wears her insides on the outside, I keep it in.
You say I'm diamond, but I am glass. Every bit is clear, but shattered fast. I wear my insides on the outside, don't keep it in.
I see you roll your eyes like mine, mine. And you are never far behind. Flickers of you in me. Oh, we are reflections above the trees. She is golden, he is lead. Every single thought remains unsaid. We dream in pictures and share them out till we burn out. A look reflected in your eyes, eyes. You are never far behind. Flickers of you in me. Oh, we are reflections above the
That was Driven Snow with their new song Flickers of You. Now onto an artist who only has one song from what I can tell. Her or their name is Dollface and their sad songs Babyface. Dollface is the musical project of Dublin-born Amy Rose, who has been writing songs since she was a teenager, and she pretty much looks like she is a teenager still. Honest to God, the talent coming out of Ireland is unbelievable. I'm so impressed. Here is her debut song, her only song on Spotify. This is Tired.
I love sleeping, but I hate waking up. And it always feels like time is running out. You may ask, but time is running out for not sure. I'm afraid of made up numbers on clothing tags and the way the fabric falls on my skin. Skin that's done its job, skin that's done its best. Just trying to keep my organs in. I
Don't you feel safe in the knowledge that Irish music is in great hands, if that's what the youth are up to today? So impressed. That was Dollface with Tired. Now, as I'm broadcasting from Paris, I thought I might be a little bit homesick. I did. It's 3 weeks away from my beautiful fair city of Dublin, but I'm kind of loving it. I really am. I'm kind of loving it. Who's to say why won't I stay forever here? I would if I could. Here is Nell Mescal with an aptly titled brand new song called Homesick.
Sat in a hotel lobby, rich kids with all the trimmings. Their outfits hurt my feelings, oh well. I should probably send you a postcard from this room without a window, but I haven't made my bed since last year and nothing's changed. I'm a little bit homesick, but I don't wanna go home yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh. I'm a little bit homesick and I haven't made any friends yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh. Wish I could find a payphone, credits costing 50 something. I'm not introverted, it's just roaming charges. I'm a little bit homesick, but I don't wanna go home yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh. I'm a little bit homesick and I haven't made any friends yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh. I am full. I hoped for more than this. I am full. I hoped for more than this. This place is not my home. I've got nowhere to go. This place is not my home. I've got nowhere to go. I'm a little bit homesick, but I don't wanna go home yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that. I'm a little bit homesick and I haven't made any friends yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh. I'm a little bit homesick, but I don't wanna go home yet, 'cause I don't think that I'll come back. You said there's no shame in that, oh.
Yeah, I don't want to go home yet. So true. I don't want to go home yet, and I have to go home today back to glorious Dublin that I love so much. That was Nell Mescal with Homesick. We're going to take the temperature down a little bit now as we come to the top of the hour on this Wednesday afternoon in Dublin's fair city. This is Arborist with Dreaming in Another Language. Parlez-vous français? Because I don't. Not yet.
Sometimes these are the best dreams I've ever had. Like a sparkle of crystals in the palm of my hand. They're not real, I understand, but oh so much better than. Takes time to be sure of the difference between all this place and reality, but I have stopped wondering, oh, which one I'm in. Combing the beach along its wishbone curve on a
of success. I'm producing my best. They just don't pay me for it yet. Family that I'm predisposed to a chronic indifference, but hey, that's how it goes. I'm happier than you could know, taking care of my own. If you're searching for the revelation that your songs don't bleed, worse ways to find art than to hear it from me. They're not human, you see. They won't set you free. So don't let them convince you that it's God-given. It's yours, you own it. That's Christian living. I dance to a different rhythm. You never raised from your bed. I cemented the notion I'd long since held, that you're dead when you're dead. I never mourn for it. So when I go hold my burial where the rivers meet, set it like cremated, but try this and see if I don't start to breathe. Just send me down the street.
That was Arborist with Dreaming in Another Language. How bloody beautiful was that, right? Just a nice 6-minute banger to kind of ease you into the middle of the week. Speaking of which, we usually take time out here to play poems on the radio because everyone needs a bit more poetry in their life, right? I mean, I do. But I don't have any poetry, but what I do have coming up in the next hour is an incredible interview with actor, performer, director, all-round sounder that I've gotten to know here in the CCI in Paris. Her name is Annie Ryan, and she sat down with me at the kitchen table downstairs and we had a good natter that I think you will find interesting. We talk about everything. We talk about being an artist. We talk about how her mum ran away from a convent. It's all there. But for the next couple of minutes before I bring you to the news, I want you to take stock of your life. Take stock of all the good things you've got going on. If you've got your health, then be thankful. If you've got your family, then be thankful. If you've got a cup of tea in your hand, then be thankful for that. This is a band or an artist called Nogi Mix with Old Crook, NogyMX. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, he hails from Ireland, but currently based in South Korea, and he crafts ethereal soundscapes that transport listeners to a realm of chill. That's what we want. That's what we're after. This is One Night in December. Sit back and enjoy. That was One Night in December. I hope you're nice and relaxed and chilled on this Wednesday afternoon in Dublin City, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Stay with us after the news, where I am going to bring you a little interview I recorded just a couple of days ago at the kitchen table with director, actor, good friend, beautiful soul, Annie Ryan. Annie Ryan, thank you so much for taking time out of your beautiful schedule here in the Irish Cultural Centre in Paris to come and talk to me today. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're here on a residency, an artist residency. How long are you here in Paris for?
I'm here for the month of January. So the idea is that if you get the residency, then you can come for 3 months. Mind you, they only offered me 1 month. I think they have like a backlog from COVID.
Up. Yeah.
So apparently I can apply again. And then I thought I might as well just do it in January because I don't really know what's in store for me for the rest of the year. So I thought I might as well do it and get it over with kind of thing. But But it does mean that, so I'm here for the month. I did go home for a funeral in Mayo for one of my cousins, which was unbelievable. Like, I'd done the Dublin funeral thing, but the Mayo funeral thing's on a whole other level.
Was it huge?
Oh my God, it was huge.
Your cousin, of course, was just this immensely well-respected journalist.
Yeah, Eilish O'Hora. So anyway, terrible tragedy, really. Like,
but a great send-off.
An amazing send-off, like extraordinary.
Yeah.
And they must be all exhausted a week later, you know.
So you were here just on a very short stint, a month,
Yeah.
and then you had to interrupt that with, with a life break, essentially. We'd all love to come and sink into Paris life and be an artist, and really, I think the point of this residency is that you're supposed to just disconnect from your other life and sink in and get to grips with what you're doing. But then life pops up, right?
Sure. And also, like, you're supposed to do something when you're here. I am kind of doing something. So, when you propose to come, you're talking about what work you're making. So I'm in transition after a very long career in theatre. I had my company, the Corn Exchange, which kind of exists still. Sort of.
I mean, you founded that in 1995, right? That's a huge achievement.
Yeah, it was a long old road, and it's still like I can kind of revive it when I want. I bought the name for 20 quid, but the company was cut by the Corn Exchange, cut by the Arts Council in a couple of years ago, and so we had to kind of fold the whole like proper operation, which was a lot of work and kind of mad.
For anyone that's listening that might not be familiar with what the Corn Exchange is and what you do, give us a little brief kind of line of what it was or what it is or what it's going to be.
So it's a theatre company that is based where the work is based in ensemble practice. So it was very much about running people around a room and embodying character in a really deep way, and oftentimes finding story from that. But we also just did plays that exist, but in sometimes a very stylized form, which was like a very highly physicalized, emotional kind of expression of emotional states. Sometimes in kind of wild makeup, but then sometimes it didn't really look like that, but it was still deeply embodied. Okay. We made all kinds of stuff, kind of from site-specific original work to, Beckett and Tennessee Williams.
Yeah, you've done loads with it, absolutely loads. And so, like, 1995 is such a journey ago. And now you mentioned that you're in a transition period. Do you feel like you've come to the end with that kind of, that role in your life, that part of your life, that career, now you want to try something new?
Well, it's a tricky one because I'm a theatre maker, really, or at least I have been. But then who are we anyway? Like, when you pause for a moment and go, so I've been wrapped up in the identity of being a theatre maker, being a director. I was a performer. I'm sometimes a performer again.
I was going to say, what's with the past tense? Because you're still a performer.
Sometimes.
No, absolutely. Annie,
I could.
You are. Because we have a shared mutual connection, and everyone listening to this show will know this artist. You are in Dahi's music video.
That is true.
What?
That was so mad.
You dark horse, you.
Well, that was a real surprise because Michael David McKiernan rang me up and said, "Do you want to be in a music video?" And I was like,
"Yes."
Are you serious? But I was a little bit, and then I listened to the song, and they had a promo that they had made about kind of what they thought the video would look like, and there was of course this young girl in it about a breakup, and I thought, I'm in my 50s. Are you? You want me to get into the water? Are you sure? Anyway, it was such a laugh. It was really fun. But it has been a while. I don't have an acting agent anymore. I sort of basically, over the last kind of 5 years, well, actually, the Arts Council and the agent went in the same month. It was really odd. So I got the announcement that they were cutting all my funding, which, by the way, I think was a kind of weird moment where there was a change in policy. And they were able to just get me then. But if it had been the year afterwards, it wouldn't have happened.
Couldn't have done it. That's really tough.
It was really tough because that was I kind of filtered all of my creativity into the company. So whatever, and I was, and now and am interested in making work that really celebrates women's voices and women's experience. So this was a program I was proposing that was entirely female work.
Great.
With partnering with this great young company called Chaos Factory, who you probably know, as well as doing all this adaptation work with Emily Pine. And anyway, it was really a great program, but it just, wasn't strong enough, or I think they didn't ring fence enough money around this one grant.
Yeah.
So a lot of other people who got a lot less than what they asked for that particular year. In any case, I was never gonna. I was also very frustrated with the model. So the truth of it is, I was kind of, for the last maybe 5 years at the company, I've been feeling like I needed more support for really what I wanted to do. And the kind of delivering a show every year, I know it sounds like you should be able to do that, and I did do it, but you're always balancing about 5 projects at the same time, and some of them come to fruition and some of them don't, for all kinds of reasons. So I was always saying to the Arts Council, like, okay, we said we were going to do this one, but here's how this is really going to play out. Yeah. Because the grant was really small. So it was like enough to deliver kind of one show with a small cast, say, and then develop a number of other things in a small way, but not a big development, like not enough to really throw a lot of actors in a room for a significant amount of time, So it was a tricky one. And, there wasn't much of an infrastructure. I'd one other person helping me on a 2-day-a-week basis. Yeah. And I had a lovely board, like they were fantastic. So I'm not complaining, but I definitely was feeling the crunch. Yeah. And feeling like I wanted to expand and that I couldn't. It was probably all in my head. I probably really could have expanded. Everybody was going, you can do whatever you want with this company. But for some reason, I felt really strangled. So, but I was never going to fire myself from that little full-time job. Yeah. So the rug was pulled from under me, which is no fun, let me tell you. But
not when it's your primary source of income and you've driven loads of yourself into it. Yeah, yeah. And that's, I think a lot of artists will recognise themselves in everything that you're saying, is that you do tend to tailor your work towards where the funding is, which is a ridiculous way of doing things.
I know, it's a crazy way of doing things. And yet it does help in some bizarre way. I mean, to do those applications, they do force you to, make a budget. Like, in a way, your show, whatever medium it is, the budget tells you what the show is in a funny way, because you're like, okay, I need 2 weeks of development and say this bit, and then I need a break, and I need to pay someone to do this bit, and this one needs video. Yeah. I need about 5 actors. I need about 5 weeks of rehearsal, not 3, not 4 or 5, Yeah. And then you're like, oh, well, there's the show.
You're realising the scale of something when you're saying it in order to deliver a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and then, so, I mean, it forces you into structure. So without having the structure, it's really like,
Yeah. I don't think people
what will I do now? Yeah. Like, no one's, like, I don't have to deliver anything anymore, except the old bank balance is like,
yeah.
Going.
Maybe you should deliver something, Annie.
Yeah. But well, no, I mean, I've come to circle back to Paris. I came with this idea. My mother has this great story that was sort of a dinner party story, where in the middle of a dinner party she would go, not that we had that many dinner parties, by the way, it wasn't that kind of house, but anyway, she would drop in this story about being a nun, and everyone would go, what? You were a nun? And she goes, yeah. She was very savvy, kind of New York woman, and you were a nun, Patsy? And she would go, yeah. And then she told the story about her escape, which was basically, she was a nun in New York City in the 60s, in this huge mansion opposite the Metropolitan Museum of Art, teaching art in this fancy school, the Marymount School. But it was pre-Vatican II, which means she was in like this crazy habit, like full on, like she said it was a linen habit. To wash it, you had to unstitch it all, wash it. That's why she never did laundry afterwards, basically.
She was like, no.
She was like, I'm done. But she'd starch it, iron it, and sew it back together,
No, not doing that.
So anyway, long story short, she decided to leave, and it was movie night. in the convent, and so she put on the first reel and legged it, and they went, "Where is she?" She must have gone to bed, but she had phoned up her brother-in-law to pick her up and like snuck out, and that was
Ran away
was
from
great.
the convent
she ran
on
away.
movie night.
I know, it's such a great, and I thought that would be such a great thing to actually realize on film.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the story is much darker than that. It's not really that funny. She actually felt a lot of shame about leaving without telling anyone. She'd been there for 13 years. It's a really long time.
Stop.
So, so I thought, well, that could make an even better film if it's not a kind of funny, like Emily in Paris vibe, if it's got a whole other level. So I came here with this idea of writing about this woman who, kind of fictionalized version, who leaves that world only to then fall into a suburban marriage eventually, and realize that she's probably married the wrong guy. And so, but of course it's very grim. I like the dark work, but of course she's only dead just about a year and a few months now.
Your mother is?
My mum.
Yeah.
So I'm here in Paris, like every time I kind of open up the can of worms to try to write about it, I find myself either going, what was she wearing on her feet? Like, what did she bring? Did she bring anything with her?
Yeah.
What's in the box? And of course, I can't ask her any of these questions, except if I do ask her, you know, like, well, Patsy, what were you wearing on your feet? Like, I get an answer from the ether. I mean, I am finding, like, with the dead ma, like, if you say, I'm like, am I just making you up? And I get this feeling of like, oh no, you will not believe what it's like on the other side. So I don't know. I am probably making it up.
But you have to live through her. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Paris is special for the both of you, right?
She loved Paris, but and particularly this area, funnily, she brought me here when I was 16, and then we went from here to Ireland for the first time to meet all the cousins, all the Irish cousins. A million years ago, in like 1986, I think it was. And it was just on the brink of my first acting gig, actually, where they had to ring me in this hotel in Connemara, where there were like two phones in Clifton, like literally the hotel and the town square. And somehow they got in touch with my dad, who got in touch with the cousins, and found me. And I had to, like, they wanted me to fly to LA to do a callback. This is back in my glamorous movie days.
What was your first acting job?
Well, it wasn't quite my first one, but it's in this early days. It was this movie that really didn't go anywhere, but it was called 3 O'Clock High. But it wasn't a great movie in the end. But it had a lot of aspirations. It was really fun to do.
You've been in some amazing movies, though, right? I mean, do you want to drop that one? Because like when you go onto your IMDb, I'm just looking at it going, this is...
I brought this up, which I can't believe, but anyway. But this is a long time ago. You know, as a teenager, basically, there were a lot of people making movies in Chicago, which is where I'm from. And I was part of this incredible acting school where the basis of the work was very much the work I've been doing in Ireland for all these years. So it's physical, it's improvisational, it works on impulse. It's not, I mean, yes, there's a little bit of the Stanislavski method work in that you have to have some sense of what your character wants to do and all that. But it isn't that really, the method school in New York is much more about like the intensity of like, I have to be truthful. And that intensity often prevents people from being able to actually play anything. So I'm from this more Chicago style work. So when they started making movies, teenage movies in Chicago with like John Hughes and all those people, all of us were cast. So like some people became really famous, like John Cusack or whatever. And then, you know, other people didn't, like me. But anyway, but this is a long time ago. And I really could have followed him and all those other people out there. But in the late 80s, I'd already had my Me Too experience. And other people were telling me about their ones. And of course, in those days, we didn't even think of it as a Me Too thing. It was just the way it was, kind of. I don't know. But I didn't have a kind of cognizant sense of it, but I definitely was like afraid of the wolf kind of thing. And I was right, I think. And I wanted to be in charge. I didn't want to be... And also, didn't feel castable then. So I wasn't sort of tits and ass enough to be like, you know, I'm not shaped that way. I'm also not that funny. So like, I'm not the funny one. I'm not like, I could have maybe been, they weren't really doing indie leads
yet.
I
get it. Like late 80s was a very particular
and into
type
the
of
90s
cast.
is now famous for being like the most misogynist time in Hollywood. But even like one of the girls from it's the Piven Theatre Workshop, so was the place I grew up in. But one of the actresses is Lily Taylor, who did amazing movies at that time. But she often, like, she was in one movie where she had to like wear this big fat suit and she played this like ugly girl. And you're like, she was not ugly. She was extraordinarily charismatic and interesting looking. And, you know, she wasn't kind of Hollywood glam, but she had a really great career considering at the time. But anyway, so my instinct was I wanted to go away, and I had been to Trinity already, and so I knew Dublin a little bit, and I knew that I had something to offer, because all the work was like people would stand on stage for like 2 hours and do a play and not move a muscle in their body. And they were so hungry to learn technique and to train and to
isn't
improvise.
that great now that you can sit here with me all these years later and be very proud of the body of work that you've done?
Oh yeah. I mean, even, not everything totally hits the mark you think it's going to make, but that's a long trajectory. That's what happens. But what I like, even when watching other people's work, I don't really mind that, as long as I can kind of feel the intention, not even like know the intention, but that I can feel that there's a strong intention in the work. I don't mind if things go wrong. I mean, in fact, in theatre, there's almost nothing better when like something terrible happens, like a light fall. Well, not a light falls, but
I mean, it's just fantastic hearing you talk about your journey to get to this kitchen table here in Paris. And it's it's interesting for me to hear of an artist that's in transition,
well, what now? So I kind of thought that I felt, because of the cut and just because of the way it is when you're kind of steeped in Irish theatre for so long. And look, it's full of the most amazing artists. So I love everyone in it. Like I feel so grateful to be part of that community, actually. And to be like, I don't know, there's something very special about theatre people. We're good at death, I always think, because the work doesn't last. You work like a dog, get your play up, and then it's over. It's really probably never coming back. Like, it's very rare for work to be revived, and even if the work has a life, and usually a really short one, and you have a grieving period. It's not quite the same as, I imagine, writing a book or making a film, where probably making a film is terrifying because it lasts forever. So all the mistakes you made are there to be seen forever, Do
you think that could be a reason that you're kind of moving into archiving some of your work as well, because you want it to last? You want to hang on
I think
to it.
It's important. Yeah, of course, it's really important for the archival work to exist. And I'm even thinking there might be a book about the practices I've sort of honed over all these years. But, I think, just to leave something behind that can be of use to people, But, and also, I'm sure I'll make a play again. But I do feel like we are at a time where, I've been confused about the sense of my own value or the value of the work. And the problem with the whole thing about grant aid, just in Ireland, there isn't any other way, really. Like, there is no philanthropic model, which in a way is kind of good, because that's a whole other trap. Like in the States, there's no subsidy at all. It's only the philanthropic model. So what you do is you have your company and you hire for people to fundraise. It's a whole other game, and it's not great, not at all great for the work. But I think we get trapped with the idea that, your grant level or, what you're able to get out of people becomes your value. Or even, probably in the screen world, like your grade or whatever it is they have is the value of you, and it just isn't. Like, the work is so much richer than that. But we are in a world that's so much, the reward and the the bank balance and the sense of achievement, when really, I don't know, the gold of the whole thing is making this stuff to begin with. Like the joy of discovery in the process. Yeah. And in theatre, that happens in a collaborative way. And in film, I imagine too, where, you know, a lot of work gets set up to create a space where other artists come up with amazing ideas that you could never have thought of. So, I mean, I think that's really the joy of directing. Is like you kind of set the space up for other people and like open the door to other people's creativity. And then they delight you with like, oh, yeah, okay, that direction.
This is, you know, you're walking into this space now. You're the artist coming into the cultural centre here in Paris, the space that's been set for you. And now everyone's kind of like, so Annie, what's next?
I know. It is sort of like being, I don't know, it's like, not like being an actor, but it's sort of like a reversal. Yeah. And so I don't know, I'm still very much in the winter, you know, I feel like it's still January.
It is.
So I'm trying not to give myself too hard a time about it. And the mother's only just in the ground, short time. Like, I don't have to rush this. And there's a whole bunch of other projects sort of simmering. So it's a bit of a mess in a way, but I think that's probably true for a lot of people.
It is. And you're in a perfect time to be in a bit of a mess. And then, you know, give yourself time to just grow, and something will sprout in the spring. We'll see what happens. But you're definitely in that lovely period of transition that I think a lot of people overlook and that we don't celebrate enough as artists, you know.
Well, even in the process, you need to go to in order for anything to actually happen. I like in the teaching of the improvisation work, which also translates into the work with text, where you know what the next line is going to be. The practice is like to stand at the edge of that abyss and not know what's going to happen. Love it. And step into the unknown. It's really, really, really scary. So like my job as director and teacher is to like hold with great, great care and go, that's it. Come on, step into the abyss. It's okay. You'll be held. I think, you know, but that's exactly what it's like for all of us all the time.
The way you're speaking now, and I know we only met you like 2 weeks ago, and I've loved meeting you. I've loved hearing all your stories. But you are such a nurturing person that I'm hearing this about your work and the way you handle actors and you handle, you know, like people who are creating work around you. Let's talk about your amazing family. You've nurtured artists in a different realm as well, because you have kids that are out there now, kind of not quite but nearly grown, who are also incredible artists and who have
one is So my eldest boy is not an artist, and one time he said very firmly to our dear friend Andrew Bennett, our beautiful actor friend who's in On Colleen Kewen. We've been waiting for him to get his great film role for all these years, and now here it is. But anyway, he said to Andrew years ago, I'm not in the family business, meaning like I'm not in the theatre. No. I'm not. And I just said, but you are in the family business. He said, no, I'm not. And, but you're into rugby. And Michael, my husband's father, was this famous international rugby referee, John West. So, and Thomas said, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, okay. So
yes, that is my family.
Yes.
Oh, that was lovely.
So he's firmly not an artist, but he's definitely a big rugby fan, like knowledgeable about rugby. And then the younger one is Ollie West, who's like, you know, if we can get him through the Leaving Cert, it'll be...
You don't need to get people through the Leaving Cert, Annie. Just let go of that.
I know.
But he recorded an album by himself during lockdown at the age of 16. And we are going to play a tune from his record.
This is his second one we're going to play. So the first album is called We Can See Blue. And he dropped it. He wrote it all in about 3 weeks around this girl who was sort of, he was interested in, who wasn't interested in him. And instead of like burying himself in the sand in shame, he wrote an album. It was just so funny. So it's really so charming. But this is his next one. And this one is called Face Down, the album.
Yeah.
And this is a track called...
You pick whatever you want. You had picked Obsolete, but you can change.
I think the one...
What would you like to pick? No Regrets?
I think
we'll go with
No Regrets.
Okay, Annie, we will play out with No Regrets by Ollie West.
And I should say too that the riff in this song has also been used in... so Ollie is part of a little band as well in his school called Pants on Fire.
We won't call them a little band. They're a great band.
Well, I'm the mass, so it's all right. They're 18, and they're taking a break because they have to do the leaving cert.
Love it.
I just think Pants on Fire,
great.
Hilarious. But so this is a riff that appears in one of their songs too, called Medicine. But this is where it appeared originally.
I can hear the pride beaming out of you.
He's so great. He's
of course.
And
come here, Annie. I've had such a pleasure talking to you today in our little kitchen here in the Cultural Centre in Ireland. If people would like to hear more from you and follow your forward journey, where should they find you? Do you have an Insta?
I'm on Instagram at Annie Ryan West, and there is a Corn Exchange Instagram too, but I'm sort of... I feel like I should close that down.
We'll go forward then. It's Annie Ryan
West.
Fantastic. Listen, I wish you all the luck in the world with the rest of your residency here, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter of your career brings to us.
Thanks, Ruth.
Thanks, Annie. You just heard No Regrets, probably the first time played on Irish radio, I'm not sure. That was by Ollie West. Annie Ryan's young fella started making songs in his bedroom when he was 16 years of age and is now, like a superstar? I think we'll call him that. I'm going to play some Dahi next because, of course, Annie was in a Dahi video. And if you should go and check it out, it's Sunset. It's directed by Michael David McKernan, like we said. And it's just glorious. It's just a woman who just, I don't know what you'd say, goes for a swim but has a bit of a rebirth. And sure, look, we're all into that. But I'm going to raise the beat a little bit here. I want to get your blood pumping. It's Wednesday. I know it sucks. But this is Dahi with Familial.
is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Did we all have a bit of a bop there, wherever you're sitting? If you're driving in your car, if you're sitting at your desk, if you're listening back on podcasts, did you have a bit of a bop? Yes, and I hope you do know that if you've missed any part of this show or any interview that we've ever done or any live session we've ever done, because that's what we usually do here on Spotlight, we do loads of live stuff, you can listen back on podcast format wherever you pick them up, whether it be Spotify or Apple or Google. I painstakingly add them every week so you can listen back to our glorious 2-hour show. And of course, if you are listening on podcast, then you're missing out the opportunity of listening live on Dublin City FM every Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. I'm going to take a track from, before I started talking, you heard Mild with Dial In. I figured that would bring us nicely from Dahi, a bit of a bop, and we're going to go to FA with Loving Girl right now before we nearly come to the end of the show.
So
was Loving Girl by F.A. Now, this is my last few hours in Paris. How sad is that? I have loved my stay here in the cultural centre of Ireland on Rue des Irlandais. I mean, like, how perfectly apt of a name is that? It's this glorious big building where artists and musicians and poets and writers and theatre makers and people come to kind of chill out and hang out together and work together, collaborate and meet up and open a bottle of wine and discuss things, or maybe tuck themselves away and do some reading or whatever it is. I booked 3 weeks here to save myself going mad in Dublin in January, and I said, you know what? I'm just doing it. And I'm so glad I did, because I feel restored. There's nothing worse than kind of trying to push yourself too much. And I'm very grateful that I could just run away, which is fabulous. I have a mountain of work to get back to though. So I will be coming back to Dublin City, and specifically coming back to beautiful Dublin City FM. So the next time you hear my voice on the radio, I shall be in the glorious studios in Smithfield Square. I do fancy a little bit of a taste of Ireland though. We went to a trad session here the other night and it was brilliant, and everyone was up and dancing and pretending they knew how to do everything. They pretending they knew the words and pretending they knew how to dance, and I was one of them. But yeah, I'm going to play some songs now that kind of remind me of Ireland, and in one way or another, I don't know, I feel like I can smell the salty sea air when I hear them. First off, I'm going to play Bad Decisions, Blonid and Kieran Lavery.
I have been making bad decisions. I have been pulling it all apart, gilding consequence with fate again. It's my myopic art. I have been making bad decisions. I've been hiding them from my friends. I break things with impressive precision, and I'm not trying to make amends. It's the way that we talk if we talk. It's the way that we speak if we speak at all. It's the way that we talk. I am weary of your beauty. I have cast my net too wide, stretched my ligaments thin again, to hold up half your sky. It's the way that we talk if we talk at all. It's in the way that we speak, we don't speak anymore. It's the way we don't talk. It's the way we don't talk, we don't talk at all. It's in the way we don't speak, we don't speak anymore. It's the way we can talk. Do not try, do not seek to find me. Small glories are all I have left. Do not cry, for I am beyond you now. Do
That was Blonde and Kieran Lavery with their track Bad Decisions. Now, like I said before, and I'll always say again, this is a community radio station. It's your platform to get whatever it is you want across to the world. Use me. I volunteer to do this every week. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy listening to everything that you send me, be it music or poetry, and I enjoy reading about all the cool stuff you're doing, like putting on performances and, you know, building new bookshops and opening this, that and the other. And yeah, so tell me, use me as your community notice board. Send me an email, spotlight@dublincityfm.ie. We're going to be back to our kind of regular format of interviews and musical performances and poetry readings and the all crucial event guide. I will be your one-stop shop for all things happening in Dublin City and around Ireland. So just send me all your stuff. Here, keeping with my little flavour of Ireland, this is Joshua Burnside with Woven.
Woven through your head like black thread, tangling up everything you think. I want to snip it, roll it in a ball for a kitten to play with, stretched out on the floor. The days are long and the nights are long, but I'm sorry if I were Kronos. I eat you up, live inside me warm, safe like a baby, never born, never dies. Like a baby, never born, never dies. In the hours like bold as you can shift are piling up above me till the light is gone. The seasons creep along so slowly, like an elephant lonely, lumbering on. I wanna pull you up from this well so damn dark and deep, and wrap you in a tin foil sheet, give you coffee and a paper cup to warm your heavy bones as they decay, saying I'm okay, I'm coming home today. Just tell him I'm okay, I'm coming home today.
That was Joshua Burnside with his track Woven. We have come to the end of my show. Thank you so much for sitting with me over these last 2 hours. I hope you have enjoyed the best new Irish music that Ireland has to offer. I have definitely enjoyed playing it for you, and I hope you'll join me next week from Wednesday at 2 to 4 or listen back on podcast. My name has been Ruth Medjber. You can find me online. Ruthless Imagery is where you will find me on all platforms. I'll say goodbye with this beautiful song by Niamh Regan. Her eyes are a blue million miles. Slán, and I will see you in Dublin.
I look at her and she looks at me. In her eyes I see the sea, and I don't know what
what she'd see in me. She says she loves me. Her eyes, yeah, her eyes are a blue million miles. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see, you love me. Yeah, her eyes, her eyes, her eyes are a blue million miles. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see, you love me. As I look at her, she looks at me, and in her eyes I see a sea. I can't see what she sees in me. If she says she loves me, her eyes, yeah, her eyes are a blue million miles. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see, she loves me. Her eyes, her eyes, her eyes are a blue million miles. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see, far as I can see. I look at her, she looks at me. In her eyes, I see a sea. I don't see what you see in me. You say you love me. Far as I can see, she loves me. Far as I can see.